Welcome to the second part of the buildings video. Originally it was intended to be one part. I was going to have the generic building, the blacksmith and coaching in and the guard tower all in one video, but it got to be about almost 2 hours long, which was a wee bit too long for a video, so I've had to split them out into 2 parts. It'll be a 5-part series, I guess, now. So anyway, enjoy it. This is the start of me working out the blacksmith building. It's been sort of looking at pictures, and I kind of want it to be a bit like stuff from Skyrim, where you go up, and if you can see here, there's a set of stairs here. So you go up here, so it's going to be 2 rows high before you actually get to the building inside. That'll be planked out. I've seen something on Tabletop World that I'm going to base this on. So if you don't really want to make it, to collapse it, you can actually go and buy something that will be useful. So yeah, I'm just working this out. I'm going to cut now a bit of cogs. If you looked back on the playing video where I've worked out the size of the blacksmith, it's going to be 6 inches here and 5.5 inches down here. I'm going to cut a base for that now, and then begin gluing this on and building it up. It's just made from simple blocks. I'm going to have 4 windows, 1 at the back, 2 on the side here, 1 at the front here. Apart from it's just all collapsed. So yeah, I'm going to begin by building the foundations. That's the first 2 rows and the stairs. Cut a piece card out for the base, so it's 6 inches across here, 5.5 down here. And I glued the first layer, the foundations of the building in here, and it's all just made from straight blocks forming a 3-inch by 4.5 inch base. So it's going to come down here 4.5 blocks and go across here 3 blocks. The next row is going to be quite similar, except we're going to obviously go off a bit so you get the brick step pattern. So I'm going to glue the second row of the foundation in now, and then we're probably going to cut a bit of foam in now and do the floor now, so it'll be easier because it's quite a small space in there. Just before we work on the floor, I'm going to put the stairs in. Now the stairs, this is going to be the base, so little small section here that's going to go here, 2 blocks that will go here. Then at the back you won't see this gap here. It's another secret about Herstart's blocks. You don't have to fill in everything. 1, it gets really heavy, and 2, it's just a waste of blocks, so you're not going to be able to see this. The second bit I'm going to do is use a stair piece like this, small stair piece, and another little small bit like that to form the bottom step. That's going to go here like so, and it's going to sort of overhang ever so slightly. The next, we're going to use blocks like this, just normal blocks, to form the stairs, and we're going to cap it off with one of these, again, half blocks. The thing is here I'm going to need to put a half block to form a step. That means I'm going to have a little 1/4 inch gap there, so I'm going to fill that in with I'm probably going to use a bit of balsa wood if I can find it. Just cut the size, so that could use foam. I think a bit of balsa wood, just put in there like that. I'll cut its size just to form that block there. So I'm going to glue those in, that's what I'm going to do. So then you've got a little bit of overhang here, so it's a bit of interest and detail. So at this stage, I'm going to let it dry a bit, and we're going to put a bit of foam here, and I'm going to glue. You can either use cocktail sticks, we're going to form some planking, so you can form a load of cocktail sticks, or glue in a bit of balsa wood and just score a floorboard pattern in here. As for this building, we're going to make it so you can get inside and out, so we're going to worry about the interior as well as the exterior. So I don't know how I'm going to do this. I might use cocktail sticks for the inside. I'm going to clad the outside bizarrely in balsa wood rather than cocktail sticks, so I can get different thicknesses. I think that's what I'm going to do now. Got a piece of foam cut out for the floor, and I am going to clad it in a bit of balsa and score some runs in for the floorboards rather than using coffee stirrers, but feel free to do it either way. You've seen this done on the channel so many times now, I've got to do something else. But for the floor, what I'm doing is 3/4 of an inch bits of off-cut foam that are just sort of the same length here. I'm just going to glue them in here, give the floor something to glue onto. It's just a case of getting some glue along the bottom and the sides and on the back here, sticking it in like so. We want some glue down here, and then on the edges here. And we are going to stick that in. So that is the flooring. Next I'm going to cut some balsa wood. Just out of interest for you, the dimensions of this foam, it's 2 inches by 3.5 inches there. So that's what we're going to do with the foam. We're just going to measure a piece that is 2 inches. So measure that down. You want to make it really just slightly smaller because you're going to, so when you cut it, cut on the inside of the line. It's 2, would I say 3.5? Good one, Mr. Memory. Yep, 3.5. So we're going to measure that 3.5. Like so. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get, this is my wife's cake engraving tool. I'm going to use this to just score some plank patterns in, and making about the same sort of length as the coffee stirrers, but also one thing to note is to go with the grain of the wood rather than against it. Get a nice little pattern. So I'm going to carry on doing this. I'll cut this out. I might even sort of add some little patterns like that. So there, I'm going to carry on, cut this out, glue this on, and then next up we're going to glue this level on here, which is the first actual real level of building with the doorway in. So this is the first row of the actual ground floor. So I've got a doorway coming in here, it's an inch wide, so I've got 2 little doorway half blocks there, and then we're just going round as normal. I'll probably keep filming it each layer quickly just to show you what blocks I've used, so if you want to build it you can sort of see and build along. This is the layer of the windows on. So I'll just have a quick pause here. So I've got a window here, here, and one at the back and one at the front. And what we're going to do is we're going to sort of just clad the outside in bits of wood so it looks like a frame. So what we're going to do now is add in the last row for this little building. So we've got to the top of the door frame now, but we've got a little problem here because there'll be nothing for this block to rest on. So I'm going to cast up a block. There's a block that has just 2 together. I'm going to cast up one of those and put it in there. So I'm going to do that. But effectively that's it. What I'm going to work on now is this back wall here. There's going to be a back wall that goes up, same sort of height as this, which I shall crack on with now when I'm waiting for that to cast up. Probably let this dry a bit. So whilst I'm waiting for the cast here to dry that I've done, I've made a door for it. So that's just made out of some 6mm foam, scored down some planking pattern, and then glued some balsa strips in. I'll probably put a little handle in here, handle in there once it's dry, so which I'll show you when it's done. But I've also glued some of the paving plastic on, and glued the first row of bricks. So this one's going to be 3 inches and it's going to be 2.5 inches long, and we're just going to build that up now until it reaches the top of this wall. And then that's the actual main structure done, apart from getting the roof bit up here done. So, you know, peeking into a peak. Good English, Kev. Good English. Anyway, I'm going to crack on, let that dry, and I'm going to glue it in place here. Don't focus on my hand, focus on that. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. Also, at this stage, while we don't have the peak roof on or anything, it's easier to get inside. So I'm gluing the windows in, the window frames in here, here, and here. Now, on this front one here, because I'm putting something across here, and I've already filled it in. All I'm going to do for this front bit is do it as a closed window. I'm just going to glue some balsa wood on the front here, which we'll do that last, or in a minute, last as it were. But for this, all we're doing is you're going to need 4 strips of balsa wood that are 1 inch long, and 4 that are 1/2 inch long, and this would do inside and outside. You're just going to form a frame like so. And it's just a case of gluing it on into the inside and outside, like I've done here. I'm doing all 3 windows here, and once we've finished the actual main build, I'll come back and do the shuttered window at the front. And I think I might even put some shutters on here. Just make some shutters out of balsa wood and glue them on here. Thinking, I'll see how I feel. That might just be done. I can do that last kind of thing. Shut outside shutters. Yeah, I'm possibly gonna leave it to dry now, and then once it's dry, glue the door in. That's my plan for this, and so we'll come back when I've done that. Right, so pretty much all the walls done. That's still a bit wet, so I'm going to have to be careful here when I move over. But I've got some polyfill that I've added water to, so it's kind of really liquidy. Spackle for you in America. We call it polyfill. It's what you put on the walls to smooth them over. But what I'm going to do, hopefully, camera, is just on the inside. I want to literally plaster the walls. I don't want it brickwork inside, I want a nice plaster. So what I'm doing is just going to paint on the plaster to smooth out the brickwork inside. I'll take a few coats of this, because it's quite liquidy. Now if you can see, there, it's just trying to work out, get rid of the brickwork pattern on the inside effectively, and have a textured wall. I've made this a little bit too thin, so it might require more coats, but that's it. As I put more coats on, I'll come back and show you what it is, but that's effectively what I'm doing here. Just getting rid of bricks inside and having a plastered wall. The inside's been plastered, as you can see here, and I'm now starting to work on the wooden beams, which is just made from cut down strips of balsa wood. You can use coffee stirrers, but I'm using balsa wood for this so I can get different thicknesses of beam on here. So I'm going to carry on just putting different beams on everywhere, and then we're going to work on the roof. I think just been going around adding in some wooden bits. I wanted this front bit of wall to be a whole wooden beam. Probably going to have to glue it in because it's warping. Balsa wood does that. Now on the outside of the window here, I might do some around here. Do something different here. I'm making some window shutters and just some strips of balsa wood. I've just scored down just to give it a plank effect, and now I'm just going to scratch in a bit of wood pattern on there, and we're just going to glue those here like so, just on the outside of the shutters. So we're moving on to the roof now. You're going to need 2 triangles that are 3 inches wide and 2.5 inches high. which is just the width of that and however height you want it, and another one at the end here, which is the width of this, which is about 2.5. It's about 2.5 high. You need a bit of card, which I've already started working on here, which is 6 inches and 4.5 inches wide, long, so same as this, and you just fold it in half along the, so it's 3 inches down the centre here, and then you fold it in half. I've just cut out a bit in the middle, so it's a bit, looks like the roof's going to be falling in. So we're just going to stick that here and stick that on here, so we're going to have the triangle bits fitting in here. And what we're going to do is just use the same cladding we've done before, same plastic cladding. We're just going to put it on here like so, cut it out. I think I can get away with actually, yeah. So all I'm going to do is trace round my card, glue it on, fold it on and stick it on. And that's what I'm going to work on now. Got this bit of roof done now, I'm just going to let it dry a bit. But whilst it's on here, I want to do this bit of roof. So got a bit of card that's 4x4, so as it stands it would fit in nice there. But I need to cut it away so it fits into this ruined bit of the building, so where it's probably a lot easier not to have a ruined building. So what I'm going to do here is just move the roof back to here and sort of draw a line down here is where I want to cut it. I think that'll work. So move it back to the end here so it's flush, just so I can, so it's flush with this bit of wall here. See? Put this section of roof up against it and then use that so I can trace here with that line, and then hopefully I can just cut it here and it should fit in here, which it does. Just about. And what I really want to do now is just mark sort of here and here, just sort of have a bit of ruinous bit of roof here, like so, and then that will be another bit of ruined roof there. So I'm gonna say you might one day build a unruined roof for this, so I can use it in other games. Of course, but there we go. And now all I'm going to do is use this as a template for the cladding and glue it onto the card like I've done with this roof here, just give it a bit of extra stability. And that's my roof done. All I'm going to do next is add some wooden beams along the front bits here, and then that's it. So onto the roof sections, I've just glued some snapped up bits of dowel just to be the sort of broken timbers of the roof, and that is it for the main structure. As I said, just going to do some planking on the front bits here, and that'll be the roof done. I think do a few other little bits and pieces here. I think if I was going to do this as a non-ruined roof, I'd spend a bit more time and get this angle a bit better. I think it's where, if it's a non-ruined, I think it's where I've done it and it's sort of not, it's bending down while I'm not gluing it in because I want to be able to get in there. Whereas if I was doing it as a non-ruined roof, I'd do it as one piece. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. I'm just going to make a little porch for this bit here. It's going to be made from the roof tiling that's 1¼ inch and just under 1 inch there. Fold it in half. We're just going to glue it into place here, like so. I might actually trim it down a bit more. So it's probably about 3/4 inch coming out now. I think that's going to look better. Yeah. So I'm just going to glue that in place there and probably just get some balsa wood and just do some little struts to hold it on here. Struts to hold it on here. That's what I'm going to mess around with now on this bit. Building coaching in now. Going back to the design, you can see here that it's kind of effectively on an 8 inch by 8 inch square, so that's got this card. It's going to have this bit here is going to be a window, and there's going to be 2 doors here which are going to be made out of the arches. They're just drawing, so they'll go a door there, door here, and then internal there'll be a little courtyard bit here. So a lot bigger door here from a different mould. So what I'm going to have to do is going to be the first row. So for the first row I can instantly see I'm going to need a little side brick, like one of those. And I want to have those at the end of the door. And I'm going to need one of these sort of pin bits here, go here, so I can put it, where can you see that on camera, so it will go, once this has been removed, the ground floor, it will go here. So this bit's a bit, to smooth that out, it's a bit rough. So let's see if I can show you correctly on camera, see what I mean? So if we're to remove the door now, it will go here, so then the door will sit on like so, and it gets to the arch right at the top. So yeah, it's going to be that. That's what's going to be going on here. So I need like so, and then when I get to put the door on, it will go on like that. Hopefully you can see what I mean. And I'll do something similar for these doors here. So I'm gonna, I think I'm prepared. I'm gonna go around and glue the first row down, and then what I'm going to do is I'll plank inside and we'll trim off all this once it's built. But I'm going to build the ground floor, so I should carry on. The second layer of bricks has gone on. This gap here is going to be a window, and these little gaps here are going to be windows. There will be a window here and one here, but I'm going to do those as closed. The windows are closed, the shutters are closed, so I don't really need a hole, so it's just going to be bolts wood either way. One thing to note is these bits here, you can get angle bits, which I'm using here, like this, but it's just, they're too big. So for these angle bits here, I've just used a little bit of foam that I've cut to size and put in there. So hopefully you can see what's going on here. The door will go here, and the bigger door, the actual horses will go there in time. So I've got another row to go before I'm going to put these in. They're going to go right at the top, I think. So then what I shall do is cut out a bit of foam for in here, put one of the doors in that we've been using for the ministerial buildings in past videos. Yeah. I'll carry on doing the next row. I'm going to build the upper floor now, so what I'm going to want to do for this is turn the ground floor upside down. I'm going to use this to sort of draw around, but what we want is a bit of an overhang, so just roughly, and then we'll go back and straighten up a rule. Just draw around and leave a little bit of an overhang, the same amount we've done on the other buildings that have the overhang. Like so. And what I'm going to do now is, I'll tell you what I should do before we move that. Just add in the back bit here. Something like that. And I'm just going to, with a rule, tidy this line up, straighten it up, and cut it out. And then all it is a case of doing now is building the upper walls like we've done on the generic ruin building, except we're just going to put the walls all the way around. So I'm not going to show you that because I could get a bit boring just seeing the same thing over again. So I'll just cut out all the pieces and get them ready. We've built the first floor. Everything that's in here is pretty much what we've seen before. It's all built from foam core. Just little bits of foam core. You know, you've got the apex roof, got the windows we've seen here. We've cladded it the same way. Bit of a polyfiller spackle on the front. Little bits of dowel just on the side here, just for the beams. So when the roof goes on, it kind of looks like something. This bit here, we've got a little sort of outside balcony bit, and we just put a little bit of the plaster card on there. And there's nothing in this that we haven't covered. That's how it looks. So we've got this. I decided to have a third floor just for this section here, which again, there's nothing spectacular about this. Only thing that really is different is inside we've got a balsa wood floor. So all this is just cutting balsa wood to the size where it's got to go, and then just scoring it down to have some planks, which doesn't really show up on camera when that's painted. Rather than using what we've done on the floor before, we've used some coffee stirrers. I just done it with balsa wood just for saves time. Saves time. Now we've got to do the roofing, and again, this isn't anything too difficult, he says, but it is. This roof is how we've done it before, so it's just a straight card, how we've done the other building. Plaster card for roof tile 1, boom. Now this, I haven't got this on camera because I cried. It's a bit horrendous. This bit wasn't too sad here, but this is what I've got for it so far. So this bit here wasn't too bad. It's almost a straight bit of card going over, and then what I've done is on this section here, just put a little cut along here just so it can hang over. And I don't think I could have done this on camera anyway. I can give you tips now, but all you've got to do is get some paper and just sort of, you may be able to see it's a bit of a Frankenstein. It's a bit of a, got the main bit, and there's a bit here, a bit there, and a bit there. It's all just working out, and even then it's not quite accurate, as you can see here and here. Because we're going to clad it, it's not too bad. It's not going to be too bad because we're going to clad it in the plaster card. But this is how we're making the roof for this bit. It's how we're going to do it. It's all just eyeballing it, getting some card, laying a bit on, cutting it. You can see a lot of sellotape holding this together. So that's going to be the roof for this. This is why I said this is a really difficult project for things like this. God, I said it can be difficult in the first episode. We're now on episode 3, and I didn't realise it was going to be this difficult. But we're there for this. So all I've got to do is now clad this in this stuff, and we're good for the roof. And then we can paint this. Thank goodness we can paint it. Oh, and we're pretty much there for the buildings now. I feel we're pretty much there for the buildings. We've reached the milestone, so let's paint some stuff, how we painted this, and we'll see where we are. Been waiting for my cat to get off for ages. This is my cat. This is my cat, Horrible. Say hello, Horrible. Right, we're going to make the Watchtower, and this is going to be made using as a guide actually on the Hurst Arts website. We're going to use as a basis for this, for the tower mould that I've got. So effectively we're just going to build it up row at a time. So we've got corner pieces here. I'm going to be gluing in here, just normal flat bits here. And so the base is 3x3, so I cut a bit of plaster cards 3x3. Use these individual pieces here, and the end, this is going to be the doorway, and I'm going to put these in here, doorway. So I'll glue these in and come back for the next row, and this is going to be built in 3 sections, so you can take it apart in 3 parts, 4 including the roof I think, because that's where we're going to deviate at the top. So let's crack on at that. So we're going to do the next row. Got my cat still here helping out. These bits we're going to glue in, they're going to form the doorway, but these bits here, see you later, cat. these bits here are not going to be glued in, as we're going to be putting a window arch in, and they're just there to space it out, to help space it out. So we are not going to be gluing those in, I believe. Yeah, so what's going to happen when they come out, this window will sit there and there'll be one here. So they're just there for spacing. And it's quite simple. We've got corner pieces again and just little small blocks in between. So that's row 2, so I'll get gluing that in. So on row 3, and I've just decided not to have a window here. I think it's like it in the guide as well. So row 3 is just corner block, small, 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 corner block but a long one, small, corner block, long one, 2 normal, little small corner block, and these are glued in from last time, so I'll glue these in. For the next row, we're just going to put the windows in. So yeah, what we're going to do, get some glue, scrunch them in, and put them in. Quickly do this because what I want to show is the next bit, because this is going to be the first level that comes away. The next row we're not going to glue on as such, but we do want to put a block here. So just as a little marker, put a block there, glue on the bottom here but not on the sides, just so it fits in there, and one on the end here, just so you can position it properly. So you can get this block in position, push it down, and then we know that's in the right place. We can remove these ones now. Get the windows in place, and yeah, we can work on the next row, which doesn't get glued to this one. We want to be able to get inside it for gaming reasons. For the next layer, you want to pre-build the arches and glue them, so we're doing that. And what we've got going on here is the next section of the wall doesn't want to be glued down to any of this bits we just done, so just put it in place, but it will need to be glued to each other. So this bit will need to be glued there, like so, but not to the window arches. Which is quite difficult. It might be, you might want to leave this bit to dry first, so there's no splodges of glue coming out, otherwise it might get stuck to that. But yeah, so that doesn't want to get stuck glued to there. You've got this corner bit here, which is made from small cornerstone and 2 small bits. They're going to be glued together. So, and then down here, small cornerstone, and this is going to be glued here. Now the arch is not going to be glued to the bottom here because you want it to lift off, but it will be glued to either side of these bits. So it'll go in here like that. So I'm going to sort of glue those bits together, but again, reiterating, not gluing it to the bottom bit. So for the arch, which you're going to go here, I have to put a bit of glue on this bit here, a bit of glue on that bit there, and you can, for now, just attach it like so. What you really want to make sure is there's no glue that's going to splodge out the bottom. You really don't want it being attached to this. I mean, hopefully it shouldn't be that much glue. That bit of force, if it does dry, won't, you know, you should be able to pull it off. There we go, so that's on there. So these bits don't get glued to there, these bits don't get glued to the windows. So when we do the next layer, it's the same sort of thing. We won't be gluing it to these bits here, so we should be able to lift it off. Plan. Anyway, so the next row is this one. It's going to be corner piece, straight, corner piece, normal piece, little block, corner piece, 2 normal pieces, and a little corner block. Now again, we are not going to be gluing them, reiterating this, to this block here. Don't want any glue on that block, and 2 window pieces. But we do want to glue it to this bit, the base of this bit, and this section here. So let's do that. What I'm going to do is just put a bit of glue on this bit here, and on this edge. Carefully put a bit of glue just on the top edge so it doesn't squidge down the bottom here. And likewise, a bit of glue on this bottom section here, and on the top bit here. Oh, one's wrong already. So yeah, like that. And it'll be the same here, bit of glue there on the bottom, so it's not. This is probably going to be the worst bit, this back bit, because there's not a lot going can adhere to. So bit of glue on the top there. And likewise, same glue on the bit that is getting glued to. Bear in mind that, yeah, bit glue at the top here. Mindful, I don't want it squidging out the bottom. That can go there. Bit glue along the top. I'd show you this one more so than the others. This is probably the most complicated bit. And yeah, this doesn't. This one can get glued just as normal. So that's nice. So there, there, and there. In like so. Cool. Now hopefully, because I'll level it all out now. Hopefully, and break it. If my plan is correct, when the glue dries, I should be able to lift this section off from the one we've already built. If not, I'll be refilming the intro and we're just making a straight tower. Nah, it should work. I've got faith. Cool. So I'm going to probably let this dry before doing the next row now. The next row is just going to be... Probably won't film the next row. The next row is just going to be a normal row of blocks, I think. The next row is going to be a floor. Now for this, I'm using, for this section here, 3 blocks that are free, just to really make that floor stable. But here we just got 2 corner pieces here and here, a normal block here, and then 2 normal blocks here. So like this, this is going to form the floor. But then for this gap here, just going to put in 2 normal blocks like so. And so this will be a floor level where you can get into. So we're going to let that, glue this all together, and then glue it on there like so, and that's row 7. The next row after the floor is just a straight wall section, glued in place, but we're going to do another wall opening here. So just like the ground floor, going to come and cap it in with 2 of these small little bits here. Now the row after this will be the start of some more windows. Okay, next row is going to have some windows in, like it's the same way as doing it on the other bits, but instead of having a window here on this side, we're going to have one here. They're having a window here, you can have it on this side. And you know, like before, these bits aren't getting glued in, and the doors at the back rather than the front. So I've built it up like I did on the lower level, and now we just got to do. This is where it's going to pull off. So we don't want to glue this sections down. So what I've done, which I wish I'd done on the lower level, is just pre-glued the pieces here. So what we can do is we can put that up there like that, that in there, and that in there, and the glue's dried, so I don't have to worry about it accidentally sort of gluing itself to the other bits. Now all I've got to do is glue the next row on. Again, making sure we don't put any on the window arches or this section here, so it can lift off, which I shall do anew. So row 12, which is the one that only needs to be glued onto these corner bits, I've, again, like I did before, just quickly pre-glued them. And what I'm going to do now is this, on these bits, put a bit of glue on, and then attach them to this bit here. So this one is just M bit here, and this M bit here, and then obviously glue them to each other. What I should have recorded on the lower level, but I'll show you now, is if the bottom blocks, when you lift it off, haven't glued to it, you can just glue them back on at that stage. You know where they've got to go. So I can already feel I don't think this one's going to glue on that well. So when I take it off, I'll just reattach this one to this block. But it's fine for now. Yeah, and then we've got to do, was it row 13? Yeah, row 13, which will be I believe it's going to be the last row. I think there's just 13 rows, and that's just going to be a normal row. And so I'll do that off camera, and then we can work on the floor, the last bit of the Hurst Arts. Well, it's not actually, got to do the stairs. What am I talking about? But anyway, let's do row 13. I haven't glued this thing extra, just wanted to show you something. And the bottom, I've just put a little 2x2 bit of card there, just to give a little bit extra support for these tiles here. And now what I'm going to do is just glue it on the top here, and we're going to work on the stairs, kind of go around the edge and come up to here. And then once we're done with that, we're done with the Hurst Art blocks. I'm going to make a little foam topping for it, rather than on the Hurst Arts guide it has like crenellations here. We're not going to have that. We have a little, make it a watchtower. So the Dungeon Tower Mold 60 comes with these stairs, which we're going to use, and they come out looking like that. Now what we want to do though is we don't want this bottom bit in, so you just get a bit of pliers. I've already done it, but get a bit of pliers, carefully snap it away, and then get a bit of sandpaper and just sand it down so you've lost the bottom bit of it. Now you'll need a 4 set of stairs, 2 set of stairs, 1 big tiles, and half an arch. Now we're going to start on the doors here. So we're going to start on this side of the door, the windows at the top. Now these bits here are going to glue all together, but only glue to the bottom section. So they're going to go here, here, and then this bit here, this step, is going to glue onto half of the bottom section here. So when it comes away, they remain there. And this archway is just going to glue to the bottom again and underneath the step there. So effectively you're going to have this kind of thing going on. I'm going to glue this now, get this done, and glue it only to the bottom half. So I've decided for this it's actually easier just to lay it on its side. So yeah, we've got this bottom bit glued in and it's not attached to top half, and now we're just going to put a little stairway here, which is another 4 set of stairs with a big step on the top, so that will just glue onto the next level. Now if I can, and it's just got to, we'll go up to the next level, and this bit will, this actual step will overhang completely on this bit here, and you don't want to glue it to this step, so this will be attached to there like that. See? You can still pull it apart. So I'm going to get that done now. While we're leaving this to dry for a bit, I'm going to work on the next row, which will be under here. So for this, I haven't glued it yet. I need a set of stairs and a set of stairs. What I have glued is the archway to these bits, just to make it easier. So when this is dry, we're going to attach this along here, which will go underneath the doorway, which is here. Got this layer done. Now we need to put this bit of stair here, but as you can see we need to chop away this bottom bit like we did for the first step we used. So we're going to cut away that with some pliers, sand it down a bit, and then glue that in there. So while we're waiting for this bit to dry, we can do some decorative bits that come with the mould. So you're going to need this little section and these two, and it's going to be really difficult for me to do at this angle, but this angle. So what we're going to do is underneath this bit here, glue this bit in. I'm just going to put a bit of glue on underneath, glue there. Cool, that'll go in out. Glue these two bits together, and what they do is, if I can get it right, they have a little stand bit there, and so you want to put some glue here, there, some glue there, and they just sort of sit either side. I can't do it from this angle. Anyway, they're gonna glue in here like so, like that. So I'll get them in place and leave them to dry. It's got the final row of stairs to go, but it will need to be done in 2 pieces because this bit lifts up. So we're going to have a 4 and a 2 piece glued together with a big floor stone glued in. This will go here, get glued in here, and go up to this bit here. And then after that you take just this 4 bit of stone and glue this to this bit here, like so. So it'll be, but not to the stairs, so it'll be attached like so. And then take a half an archway bit, whoops, and we'll just glue it there as a bit of detail. And you can, if you want, like we did around the corner, add a bit of detail here. So remember, it's going to be those support bits you can add under there. So I'll glue that now. So before we glue this on, we're going to make the wooden top bit. This is just made from 2 inches high bits of foam. Now the long bits are 3.5 inches. So 2 of these go here, and the short bits, because Mr. Memory, are 3 inches, obviously, because I can form the smallest bits here. Now I want some windows in them, so people with the guards can spy out. Now these come up 3/4 of an inch, and they're ½ inch high. And they come in, on the long bits, you come in 3/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch again, so it's a 1/2 inch square either side. Now on the shorter bit, because you've got 1/4 of an inch on this bit here, you only have to come in 1/2 inch. But here we need to cut the doorway in. So on these bits here, the 2 end bits here, if you come down 2.5 inches and draw a line up, and then measure up from the bottom 1.5 inches up, you're going to cut that bit out, and that will form the doorway here, so you'll be able to walk in. And it's a similar thing on this one, except it's 2 inches, I believe, you come in 2.25 inches, 2.25 inches you come in here, and 1/2 inch again. And so just cut all that out, and then we're going to glue it together like we've done the previous building, so you're forming a little square. But before you do that, you've got choices. You can either clad it in balsa wood, but I'm not going to worry because I'll just take, it's not worth the effort really. I'm just going to score a plank pattern in here because I want this to be made out of wood, this top bit. So I'll be doing that all the way along. So once you cut that out, you do that, cut it out, glue it, and then glue it to this, and then we'll make the roof. So we're going to do the roof for this, and it's going to be a pyramid, 4-sided pyramid. At first I was trying to do it using a protractor and working out all the angles, and I couldn't do it because it's Sunday morning and it's too early. So in the end, come up with another method, far more simpler, which is a template. So cut out a triangle that's 3.5 inches long and 2.5 inches high, and draw around it on a bit of card, like so. Then take it and put it against this here, like so. Draw around it, rotate it again, and draw around it. And probably once you've done this, keep the card template, because you can use it as a template for the plaster card, tile plaster card. Look at this, like so. You got like the thing, and then just put a little tab here. So we'll cut it out and glue that to that. And when you cut it out, score down these lines here to make folding easier. And you really want to fold it so it's a small thing. You've probably seen this on the roof. So this bit is outwards because you're going to clad that anyway, and it's just this side's easier to paint. So when you undercoat it. So when you're scoring, if you use a metal rule, you can just come down just to lightly score down, just to break the card a bit. But then while you've got your metal rule in place, you can use it to fold up against. Makes it easier. Got it folded. Now, bit of glue along the tab, like so, and stick that together. Nice thing about gluing card, don't take that long to dry with wood glue, so put that to one side. While that's drying, get your template again. Some plasticard roof tile that we've been using. Put it on, a little bit of overhang in the bottom, I think, just to really cover the card. But this, the rest of it has to be quite neat and tight. What you're going to do is another one here, cut these out and just glue them onto the roof. And what you can do is on this bit here, of course, you've got a bit that's you've got 3 triangles for one, effectively. Give yourself a little overhang at the bottom, extra tile, and probably the same here as well. Yeah, look at that. Got to make sure the tile pattern's running correctly. Yeah, smooth. Cut those out, glue them on. Roof's all done now. You may be asking why I didn't make the plastic bits in the same way as I done carpet underneath. There are 2 reasons for this. One, I didn't have plasticard big enough to actually do it. I only had thin strips left after making it. But the most important thing is the bricks. If you would have done it like that, the bricks would have been not straight here. They'd have been going off at different angles as you rotate it around, which is not conducive. You want the bricks, the tiles, to be horizontal all the way around. But that is the tile right now complete, the construction of it complete. What I want to do now is I want to paint it, and then once I've painted it I can glue this bit onto here, but we don't glue the roof on, so you can still get inside. But I'm not gluing it yet because it'll be easier to paint if I don't glue it yet. Before we paint it now, I've just added a bit more detail to the windows, put a little frame round using balsa wood and added a shutter. Now one thing what I want to do is I found this in my bits box, and I want to attach this up to the peak of the roof. So, so I'm just gonna with a ping vise put a hole through, and what I'll do is I'll make the hole bigger and try and get this to go in. So hold on, let me do that. Made the hole bigger, and I've had to just lightly trim some of the points off on tiles. Now I'm just going to get some glue, whack some glue there, and glue, push this in and glue it in place. So just a little bit of extra detail. And also, whilst I remember, I forgot to put one thing on the main building, is in the mould you get these little bottom granulation bits, which will just sit here, so it'll be 3 going on each side. I'm going to glue and only one here because he's going to be here, so probably on this side with the stairs I won't need 3, but yeah, I'm going to glue these round now. Whilst we've got everything built and painted, and we're not showing it all off until it's all ready, I thought we'd just again have a look at what we did in the last one, have a look at the buildings. So this is the blacksmith all built. Let's put the roof on properly. See here, side, and as we've seen, the roofs can come off so you can get inside if you really want to. A blacksmith's building. Probably add a few more details to the outside in this bit next video. And that's the blacksmith. The coaching in. This is going to be more difficult to show off due to its modular design, but I shall try my best. So here's the coaching in. You can get to see that. Yeah. And yeah. Down gently. Well, that bit comes off, so you can get up to there. And that all comes off, and you get there. What you may have noticed is I haven't cut the hole for the stairs here, or added stairs here and cut the hole from here. I'll do that at a later date, but it's nothing too much to worry about. So that's the coaching in. I was going to put rooms in here, but it got a bit small and fiddly, you know, to warp game in, so I haven't, just left it open for now. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I really like that. That's a cool little building. So that's the coaching in, and now finally the guard tower. Final thing we built, all painted up. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one to show off as well. Due to its, whoop, there we go. The roof's just come off, but see that. And got the back of it there. Yeah, really pleased with that. So obviously, roof comes off there to allow you to get into the top section. That comes away to allow easy access into here, and that comes away to allow easy access into there. So it's in effectively 4 bits. So that's the guard tower. Yeah, that's pretty much it for actually this bit for now. What we're going to do is, actually I pulled the wrong bit off. I still, just notice I still haven't glued this on. That's the bit that comes off, and I've still got to glue this on. Anyway, that's it for now for the actual deep buildings. Next video we're going to look at putting scenic details in. Well, we'll return to the blacksmith as well to put a bit of detail work into there, but just to bring the board to life, and that'll be it. So until next time, guys, take care. Thanks for watching, we hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button and leave a comment. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Stick with the channel for many great videos to come.